Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be teaching you guys the basics of tubing and some cool designs you can do with it. So, without further ado, let's go to my tutorial room. The video for the tutorial, first I want to show you some basic information about the maker pen and some tubing. So if you open your watch, you go to backpack. You can either favorite the maker pen or you can click use and call it out. But if you favorite the maker pen, then you can just reach behind and pull it out of your back. And of course, I like to throw it away, watch it disappear. But if you don't like that, you can always just do this, drop, and recall, which gets rid of it. But yeah. So anyway, let's get into the basics, guys. So once you have your maker pen out, point it towards your face, click open palette, click the settings tab up here, and ignore all this for now. Go to the second page, and this is where your tubing stuff will be. So right here is the size of your tubing and ribbons, in which will change basically the size of this that comes out of your pen. So basically 1 centimeter makes it like very, as you can see, small and slim. And if we go to 25, it's just this massive kind of like, yeah. So, fixed tube width. So what this means is if you have this selected, then whatever tube you build will be that size and it will not change. Now if we take this off, basically, for example, if you guys lightly tap, as you guys can see, the tube kind of like fades into this small like thing, but with this selected, if you do this, but then you try and lightly tap, it will stay the exact same size as your tube. So, connect to nearby tubes. This does is basically, as you can see, when I move this near this tube, it automatically will connect up to it. So basically, it will always stay connected to the one that you're building on, which really helps out, especially when you're building like trees or just environmental decoration stuff for your maps, like, you know, flower over there, or my lamp. So, smooth tubes basically goes from like these jagged shapes to a whole lot rounder and smoother type thing. So basically, as you guys can see, the difference is instead of having this jagged pointed edge, it's now more defined and rounder. So yeah, that's pretty much what smooth tubes do. The only time you guys might be using this is maybe for like small details, pretty much, but like you guys can experiment with these and come up with pretty good stuff. Now, the tube height ratio, what that does is, so for example, this height is like, you know, this is 100. So basically it's like full length, but if we turn it down to like 50, it gets a bit more slimmer. It's kind of like the width of the tube. So like now it's compared to this one's more like rounded and circly, and this one's kind of more like an oval. So, and if we turn it all the way down, then it's gonna be like really flat. So you guys can build like some really cool like designs and carpets and walls and yeah, pretty much. You can guys also make probably like some art as well with these. So yeah, that's basically what this does. It just kind of like changes the width. It says height, but I'm gonna go base more off the width. So yeah, you guys can do some pretty cool stuff with that. And the faucets, that one basically just changes the shape. So if I turn off smooth, as you guys can see, this one's kind of like a pentagon, but if we turn it up to like 10, now it just kind of looks more like a circle. So basically these just kind of change the way the shape looks for your thing. Of course, with smooth tube on, the shape still stays, but yet it's just a bit more, you know, instead of jagged shaped, more smooth. So yeah, basically you got square, triangle, and yeah, pretty much. Fade into world edit mode. Say we turn that on. Then pretty much what happens is, as you guys can see, instead of like seeing all the environment around you, it focuses more on this and blurs your vision more outward, so you can focus more detail on these. I'd say maybe the only time you guys would probably use this is to add maybe really small details into some building, for two buildings you guys might do. So, yeah guys, don't worry about these two. I don't really know what those two do, but, if you guys want, you can explore with these and find out what they do. But, let's go ahead and move on to, some building. What we're gonna do is we're gonna open our palette. What I'm gonna use for this one is probably some shiny metal. We're gonna also probably get some this kind of, yeah, this will do good. We'll use this, and then I want to move my tube size up to like 8, and we'll keep it like this. So I'll start off by building something kind of like that, and I'm probably going to fade it more outward. So I'll hold on the trigger for my thing very lightly to get basically this tiny, you know, structure. So it fades more inward to this, and then more so outward to kind of give it like a vase-like feel. So now that we've kind of got the vase feel, I'm going to turn off connect tubing. The reason why is because whenever I go to build the grass, I don't want it to be connecting towards the actual, what do you call it? Basically this. So we're going to do that. We're going to change it back to grass. We're going to change it to dirt. And now we're basically going to slowly move it upward until we get a structure that we like. So guys, I had to rotate this mainly because, well, the other side's basically really too flat, so, and this is a bit more bulkier than the other side, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on surface, mainly because it gets the object a bit more precise. Grid does not do that, sadly, because grid is just to basically more accurately draw the shape and straighten it out into the world, rather than, well, this, which, well, just, yeah. So, now that we've gotten, well, our base for the dirt, now I will be going to my colors real quick. We'll probably turn this just on to regular cardboard. I will be going over to my settings. We'll turn on connect to nearby tubes. We're going to turn the ratio down to get our leaf, and then we will turn down the tube size because leaves are not freaking huge. One thing I did leave out, make sure to turn off connect nearby tubing because we do not want this to connect to our leaf area. So once you do that, lightly hold this and start off the first leaf, and then once you got that, turn back on connect tubing. Now you want to lightly press again, kind of like get those edges, and then start curving it a bit outward. Make sure it does not look like that, because this is going to be a really weird leaf. So yeah, once you've done that, now basically copy it and flip it to the other side. And then once you've done that, pretty much go back to your palette, go to settings, turn the ratio back up, make sure your faucets is 10, and then turn off the connect nearby tubing again. And then what you want to do is lightly kind of hold, get it a bit more. We're making the stem of the flower, so it's got to be like that. Once you've done that, you can connect tubes again. Make sure to kind of, the stem has to kind of like be pointing this way, and then turn it back off. If you guys haven't already gotten the idea, yes, we're going to be turning it on and back off a lot. So once you've done that, make sure you find a color, whatever you like. It can be dark, black, brown, just to basically make the kind of start, I guess you could call it a start position of the flower. I don't know what they're called. But yeah, so basically we're going to make this little weird kind of circle shape. And now that we've gotten this, we're going to keep connect tubes off. I'll be making like maybe a standard yellow daisy, I guess you can call it. We're going back to our settings, and we are going to turn our ratio back down. Don't accidentally turn on smooth tube. That's not a good idea. And now you want to angle it on the flower, and then kind of hold down. Make sure it kind of, well, is precise with this flower. You can turn back on connect tubes, and then make it kind of more outward. And if you guys are lazy and don't feel like building the petals, you can just copy and paste and rotate it around. Actually, let me turn on the grid so I can get a better rotation on this. And then clone it and flip it. And then we can basically select them, clone, flip, make sure that's good. Okay. Now we're gonna clone it over. We'll rotate. Not that kind of rotation, no. No, not that rotation. That happens sometimes. It's kind of like a glitch. It's fine. If that happens, just turn it to surface and then go back to grid. And it should be working fine. And then, basically, finally, we'll flip it and, yeah, there you go, guys. So that's pretty much the flower. We can make it grabbable. So, yeah, we've pretty much built a flower. So you guys can do a lot with tubing. I just wanted to do some basic and simple stuff. Alright guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Anyway, this is just some basic tutorial stuff, teaching you guys how to build flowers, and you guys learned some other that. Don't mind them, they're my friends. They're kind of a nuts. Anyway, so if you guys liked it, please like the video. Make sure you check out my others, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.